Good afternoon, everybody. We are just now beginning to feel a little bit like May. This is May 6th. Meteorologist Ted Keller. Of course, that upper level low you see spinning on the right side of the screen has been the culprit that's kept us cool and cloudy. And of course, this is nothing. This is a bubble bath compared to what we had, the snow and the cold of late last week and early the weekend. Now, this upper level low is not producing snow anymore, but it is an unseasonable chill for the folks still enduring this system out over here between Nashville and Knoxville. Tennessee, very slow moving cold core low. But these things are so cut off that what happens over time is the winds just circulate around. Actually, warm air comes up over the top of this thing, and eventually the whole thing just fills in and becomes more uniform in temperature. But it takes time for that to happen. Of course, it's already warmer than it was when it was over our head. Speaking of over our head, today we had a mixture of mid-level and high-level cumulus clouds, low-level moisture, keeping clouds intact and shaving about 5 degrees off the temperature where these clouds hung around today in Joplin, meaning it's a lot chillier there than it is where the sun managed to pop out, and I can demonstrate that. We'll turn on the temperature pattern here. You can see 70 at Lake Ozark. Meanwhile, it's only 55 degrees around Monette, and Branson enjoying a nice 63-degree temperature. Zooming out here, you can see that, yes, it's a cold core of air, but not as much. We're only talking about highs in the 50s in the core of this now instead of highs in the 30s a few days ago. And you can see some temperature recovery out here through portions of Texas. That'll be ours to come in here, 70s, but probably tomorrow, and then a run of them lasting through the weekend. I don't think we'll manage to get that through the weekend, but fairly close. Now, let's take a look at the model data here. Now, this is the upper level low. This is the NAM model 18Z run. So we're now just beginning to lose the influence, and these are simulated echoes, not always the truth. We'll take a look at this, though, and notice that that low starts to leave the area finally and is gone here. Actually, let me turn that back on and do the model overlay, not the mesoscale overlay. There we go. Now you can see the low move. There we go. There it goes. Move, wobble might be a more apt term. It gets over Atlanta by late tonight and continues to move on. But this right here is a ridge of high pressure, and that's what's going to warm us up for tomorrow. Notice that the model wants to print out some weak showers, some convection there through Kansas. Keep your eye on that. Several subtle features are going to affect the central U.S., and the first of them is that little disturbance right there in the upper atmosphere. That'll help to promote some of those showers. And then we have, of course, this feature coming ashore here. And, you know, it's not sampled very well yet. Half of it's hanging into the ocean. So we'll see what happens with this. But I have a feeling that little short waves will get ejected out of this eventually. It'll have ramifications on what storm chasing I decide to do later this week, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe Friday in parts of the deep south. We'll see how this thing evolves. But for the Ozarks anyway, we're looking at this thing producing maybe the first hint of a shower nearby right around here. This is the early morning hours on Wednesday. I'm not sure that'll hold together significantly enough for anybody, but it's part of a little hiccup in the disturbance that's moving through northern Missouri. The NAM wants to print out very light precipitation on that day, on Wednesday. Notice that the main upper level low is still here. We got some jet stream winds blowing in there, and there might be another little short wave hanging out in there somewhere. But what will happen with time is here's now getting into early Thursday. It's about Thursday, 7 a.m. We still have kind of a flow out of the southwest. It stays warm, no problem, and we just have these little disturbances here and here. I'm not sure about the severe weather. We'll get unstable air eventually, but the wind shear is marginal. So we'll see exactly how much we manage to squeeze out of this. In the Ozarks, I would be very skeptical about getting a lot of widespread severe weather with this. Over the high plains, it might be a little bit different heading into later in the week. But at least there's no snow in the forecast. That's our extended look. Have another one tomorrow.